Creating a Positive Environment, Manitoba Fitness Council 2013, Chapter 3. Pre-class preparation. It's always important to make sure that you arrive early and prepare your equipment so that the participants can see what they need and you can make sure you have access to what you want to use. Another idea is to post a sign on the door indicating what equipment the participants need for that class, especially if you have a high volume of people coming and you can't catch everyone as they come in. Make sure that your sound system is working, that the batteries are all ready to go in the microphone, that everything is set up and ready to go. And a good idea to turn the music on. This sets a little different environment, gets the fun factor started, and it starts to bring the energy up. Greet your participants, and it's a good idea to start to get to know them at this time. You can say, hi, how are you doing? What brings you here? Or I like your shirt, or something to connect with them, and to start little dialogues as they come in, and eventually you'll get to know each person in your class. Finally, a chance to mentally prepare. So if you're going to go over some new patterns, you can just make sure that what your plan is going to work with the space, just to get ready for your class that you're going to teach. So the pre-class preparation is very important to a successful class. Really important to make sure that you start and finish on time. Even if the class before you ends late, finish on time. There has been situations that the first class at 4 o'clock is supposed to finish at 5, but it runs to 5:05. The next class goes from 5:05 to 6:10, and it just keeps going on and on and on. And the last class could start as much as 15 to 20 minutes late. And that's not respectful to the instructor or the participants. So even if your class starts late, be sure that you finish on time and respect people's commitments and time factors. Mixed level classes are challenging, but they are the reality to group fitness. People come for a time slot rather than a class level. So if you are teaching an advanced class, and that's how it's advertised in the literature that the facility uses, you still need to ask if there are beginners at the class. And if there are, then just encourage them to stay, but just let them know that the transitions or the choreography might be a little challenging. Give them something that they can go back to that's more basic to keep them moving if they get a little confused, or that they could go grab a water, making sure they keep their feet moving. Eventually, beginners are not beginners anymore, so they have to learn the language, learn the lingo, and be able to move their bodies to the rhythm that you're teaching. So make sure that you give intensity options for everyone. So you still need to teach the basic level because your advanced people might be tired and they might not like that, or it hurts their body or something like that. So make sure you still give all the levels that you would give to beginners and advanced people. Give permission for your beginners to go back to simpler versions or simpler moves. Keep your warm-up simple so that if something is too challenging for them, they can go back to a very basic movement. And remind beginners that it takes time to learn the language, and it takes practice. So if they get a new move or two every week, that's a success. And be sure that you congratulate beginners after class, saying that they did a good job so that they feel encouraged and supported. Because if you're in a class and you don't feel like you're getting it, you feel awkward, it can be a little intimidating. But just letting them know that you think they did a good job and that it will get easier, and ask if they need any help or anything to go over after class is very beneficial to them. Getting to know your participants. It's a good idea to try to do your best to individualize programs, and you need to protect the participants for sure. So I always ask if something hurts you, let me know. So that if something is uncomfortable, it bothers your knees, it bothers your back, let me know. Don't work out through pain. If there's a problem, I will give you another alternative. So if squats are hurting your knees, then we'll look at doing something different. We'll do core or a different movement. I'll look at the squat that you're doing and see if there's a little technique thing that we can adjust to make it feel better. But there's no sense in going to a workout and then coming out injured. So making sure that you're always asking questions, watching facial expressions, and listening to what they're telling you, both verbally and visually. Try to know your personal health of the participants to your best of your ability. It's easier in a situation where you have the same people coming for 10 weeks because you are always getting the same repetition. If it's a transient class where you may have a different 25 people every time, it's difficult, but you need to remind people that if it hurts, don't do it. And if it hurts you, let me know, so that they are taking responsibility, and then you can then respond to whatever the problem is. Creating a positive environment, really important in a class situation, regardless if it's a beginner, intermediate, or advanced class, and regardless of what type of class it is. Some simple things that you can do to help facilitate this is introductions, so just introducing yourself. You don't have to go into a big explanation of who you are and what you've done, and that takes a lot of time to say what your name is and welcome to the class. Introducing the participants, that's a challenge. You don't want to waste a lot of time on that. You want to get to the workout. But if it's a small group or a group of people that are coming for 10 weeks and they're all coming all the time, then that might be more appropriate. Make sure that your clothing and footwear are appropriate and functional. People need to be able to see how your body is moving so they can mimic. Your visual learners are going to need that. But make sure that you are dressing appropriate to the culture of the facility and to the group that you're teaching. Baggy clothes, clothes with inappropriate slogans or wording on them, not a good idea. Making sure that you're clean, that you're put together, and that you look professional. Making sure your footwear is appropriate. It happens, you forget shoes. Don't do the workout in high heels or in dress shoes. Go barefoot if you have to, and then don't do the class, coach it. Participants need to have appropriate footwear as well. If they forget, it's not safe for them to participate without shoes, so they need to miss that time and come back when they have their appropriate footwear. Good idea to explain the class format and what participants can expect. So after you introduce yourself, hi, my name is Josie, and this is STEP class. I usually keep the choreography a little complex in the beginning, and then as we work, it gets simpler as we get through the class. And let you know that they can take water breaks when they need them. If they need to take a break and keep their feet moving, and what equipment that they need to have access to. Simple things like that sets a good tone for the class. Finally, you need to make sure that you smile, use positive motivational cues, and an energetic body language. People can tell when you're not feeling like being there. So if you're not having a great day, the participants don't really care. They're there for a workout. You're going to have to suck it up and be that instructor that is happy and encouraging and motivating, even if you're not feeling like that. A smile goes a long way, and I find the times when I'm having the not so great days are the days that I have the best classes, because I know that I have to pull it together a little bit more and be a little bit more up. So making sure that you remember you are there for the participants. It's not about you, and you need to make sure their experience and their environment is positive. On your DVD, there is an example of creating a positive environment, also located on page 34 in your manual, so feel free to go and watch that at the end of this segment.